Hey guys, today we are going to be going over composition in Java. So what is composition? In object-oriented programming, composition refers to establishing a has-a relationship between classes. So a real-world example of this would be the relationship between a car and an engine. Every car has an engine. A car cannot exist without an engine. So a car and an engine, those two classes, they have a has-a relationship. Has-a is one type of relationship that exists in object-oriented programming through composition. There is also is-a relationships. Is-a relationships can be set up through a concept called inheritance. Inheritance, back to our real-world example of the car, every car is a vehicle. So car and vehicle have a is-a relationship. So if we were in programming, our car class would be inheriting from the superclass or parent class vehicle. We'll go back to inheritance a little bit, but let's focus on composition. So for our example exercise on composition, we're going to be going to the cat show. Now at the cat show, every cat has a human. So when we go to our editor, every cat class will have an instance of the human class. We'll have two classes, cat class and human class, and cat will have a has-a relationship with human. So yes, every cat at the cat show has a human. But it is important to note that an instance of the human class can exist without the cat class. Alright, so let's take this over to our editor. Let's begin a new project. We will call it Cat Show. Alright. And let's click on Cat Show and create a new class. This is going to be our cat class. Yep. Alrighty, so we've got our cat class set up. So we'll go ahead and set up this class with a name. So every instance of cat class is going to have a string of name. And yes, every cat is going to have a name. Alrighty, now we're also going to set up an instance for a human class, which we will create in just a little bit. But we'll go ahead and call this instance of human class the owner. Alright, so now that we have done that, and you can see that human is underlined in red, meaning, yep, cannot be resolved to a type. We have not created our human class yet, but we'll get to that in just a minute. So let's go ahead and create a constructor for our cat. Now this constructor will take in the string name parameter as well as the human. Alrighty. Now we're going to reference the name, this right here, referring to the object that it's in. So this right here is referring to the cat up here. So this.name equals name, the name variable that we created above. So this.owner equals owner, just like name that we did above. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and create another string to put this all together. We'll call this meow. And what we're going to do with meow, set up a new string object here. So we're going to combine these name and owner variables that we have set up here. So new string, we'll give the cat something to say, meow, my name is, and then we'll concatenate here to include that name that we just created. And go. And my owner is, we'll go ahead and insert that owner that we just created. A nice little period here to end things. There we go. Awesome. Alrighty, so now we can print this out to the console. Oh, looks like I'm missing a plus sign. There we go. Alrighty, so let's end that command, and we'll go ahead and print that to the console. Print out meow. Alrighty, cool. There is our cat class. So let's go ahead and create the human class. Alrighty, new class. It's going to be human. Alrighty, now for our human class, we're just going to have a name. It's going to be a string as well. And then we'll set up the constructor for our human object. And include that name as the parameter. And have it reference that. Alrighty, cool. Let's save this. Alrighty, now, yes, we need a class to include our main method where everything is going to be executed from. So let's go ahead and create a new class, and we're going to call this main. And we'll check this box here to include the main method where everything will be run from. Alright, cool. Now we've got our main method set up. So in this main method, we are going to create a reference to what we just created. Let's go ahead and get rid of this little text here. So let's create a new human object. Human, we'll call him Ryan. I promise this isn't inspired by a real-world scenario. So new human, and we'll go ahead and give that parameter, that name parameter that we laid out in the human class. We'll go ahead and give that Ryan. Yep. All right. So, and then we'll just tell Java to print this out to the console. We can go ahead and print out Ryan. Awesome. Alrighty. And now we are going to also, actually, you know what? I have an idea for this. We're just going to set up this dotted line string so we can tell the difference between what we're going to print out here, our human object, and the cat object that we are going to lay out here. So let's go ahead and create a cat object. The cat we will call Baxter. Again, this is not referencing a real world scenario. We'll create a new cat object. And to reference back to the parameters that we had in our cat object, we need a string for the name, and we need to reference the human object for the owner. All right, so we'll go ahead and give him a name, Baxter. Yep. And now we want to reference that human object above for the owner. All right, there we go. And now that we have this all set up, let's run this. And, yep. Save that and run it. Hello, my name is Baxter, and there we go. So you'll see here, it looks like Java is not really liking how I have set up my human object. It doesn't look like it's recognizing the name as a string. So what we're going to do here is insert a toString method, which is basically going to tell Java that we want to convert whatever we're telling it to a string. So let's go ahead and do that. Public string, and then this is the toString method. Yep, toString. And then we'll just tell it to return our name that we set up. Perfect. Alrighty, so let's try running this from the main method again. There we go. We can see the name for our human object, Ryan, right there. And then we can see our reference to Baxter right here being printed out to the console. Alright, so there's our cat. Our cat class has a human right here. And human is signified with a name right here. And it's all executed in our main class, which contains the main method. There we go. All right, now back to what we were talking about earlier with inheritance. Let me get back to the slide I was at. Yes. All right. So back to our cat show exercise for inheritance. We already know that every cat has a human at the cat show. However, let's create another class. This class is going to be called entry. Now, every cat is an entry. You cannot have an entry without a cat, and every cat must have a human. So therefore, every entry must have a cat, or every entry is a cat, and every cat has a human. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to our Eclipse IDE, and we'll create a new entry class. So let's go over here, new class, and we'll call this one entry. All right, yep. So public class entry, and we'll just give this a boolean, public boolean is paired, to tell if the cat is paired with a human. We'll set it to true. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and create our constructor for this public entry. And we will have a string here as well. We'll call this a human cat duo. And it's going to be a new string object. And we'll go ahead and let's give some text here. Am I paired with a human? And then we'll concatenate with our is paired boolean. There we go. And then we'll just go ahead and print out our human cat duo string. There we go. Okay, so now we have our entry class set up. Now in Java, inheritance is established through the extends keyword. So here we have, probably if I go back to the cat class, there we go. So here we have our cat class, and we want our cat class to inherit from the entry class. So we're going to use the extends keyword. Cat extends entry. There we go. So let's save this, and now we can run it. There we go. We've got the name of the human right there. And am I paired with a human? True. Meow, my name is Baxter, and my owner is Ryan. So, to recap, we have the cat class here, which is consisting of the human class. It is composed of the human class, rather. And here we have our human class with the name. And here we have a main method where everything is executed, creating our new human object, as well as our new cat object. And here we have the entry class, telling whether or not a cat is paired with a human. And the cat class is extending the entry class. So there you go. I hope this was helpful.